Welcome back, everybody. My name is Mr. Llama. This is IEM Cologne upper brackets quarterfinals in the open bracket 4. Yes, it is between DeathAngel, who has spawned down in the bottom left corner, and ForGG, the red Terran spawning up in the top right, who just completely dominated DeathAngel in that last game with Banshee and Hellion Harass that went completely undefended, as DeathAngel simply did not prepare for it. He was extremely greedy the entire game. He started out by opening up with 3 hatches before pool, and ForGG did nothing against that. Fortunately for him, there was any early aggression or anything to really punish him for that. But then DeathAngel continued to simply get Evo Chambers, only get like 2 or 3, I think he got 4 roaches max. For defense across the 3 bases, no spine crawlers, no spore crawlers, no scouting of any sort like that to even check what was going on. And so then when ForGG rolled in with some Banshees with Cloak, he was able to distract, kill off the roaches, go into the main, do some damage, as well as do some damage with the Hellions all over the place, and ended up roasting 60-something drones throughout the entire game, really just putting the pressure non-stop on Sahara. Or on DeathAngel, I should say, and really that just kind of led to a troubling situation for him as he did fall. So he's down 0-1 right now in this best of 3. We'll have to see if he's able to turn it around right here in this game, and if he's going to continue to be as greedy, if he's going to change up his play style a little bit. I'm really interested to see what he's going to do to counteract that. So looks like he's taking a 16 hatch, a little bit. Possibly he just sent out the drone a little bit late. Wasn't really thinking. Maybe he's moving his Overlord, something like that, sending out this Overlord in its own path. But regardless, he does get the hatch down, 16 hatch, not too big of a deal right there. Just taking the extra drone, and we'll have to see if he's going to, of course, take this 3rd hatch, or will he go for the pool. And it looks like he decides, you know what, I'm not going to be too greedy, I'm going to go ahead and play a little safer and get my pool down before my 3rd hatchery actually does go down. So in the meantime, ForGG going for the same build as he had last time, no gas, 1 racks FE, very, very typical and standard for Terran players at this, in the current metagame, I should say. And what I do love, though, for DeathAngel, as he turns it around, is the pathing right here to go ahead and set yourself up with another Overlord in a great position. Not only is this great simply for scouting purposes, just in general, but it's also really good against Terran, in my opinion, because you're able to really scout, is he going for mech, is he going for bio, is he getting the double gas right here, I mean, what exactly is going on? It's just really, really useful. You can scout how greedy he's being. Maybe he's taking a 3rd orbital, and you can go for some sort of Roach Bane bust on him. So it's really just helpful to have the Overlord over there. Countering that point, though, I would like to point out that a lot of Terrans I actually see with their first Marine will actually move it, or their first couple Marines will move over to this position to scout for this Overlord on this map, and that is so critical, because if you lose that Overlord at that 26 whatever supply mark right there, that is just so detrimental. Everything right now is so calculated in your build, and when you lose all that supply, you have to suddenly spend another larva, you have to find another 100 minerals, and you have the time that you are supply blocked. It's just horrible, and that's just really killer. So it looks like he is going to be taking 2 gases right here around 27, so very, very early gas. Roachhorn going down, and it looks like we're most likely going to be seeing some sort of early Roach aggression, possibly going for like a 7 Roach Rush. The only issue is that the Roachhorn comes out and he doesn't have enough gas for these roaches. So now he's going to be sitting on a lot of extra minerals right here. And poor DeathAngel seems like he has missed his timings, or messed them up a little bit, as he's not able to really pump out the 7 roaches when he needs to. So instead he's only going to be able to get 4 roaches out, and that's really not going to be enough aggression whatsoever, especially with the bunk right here. If you come in with 8 to 10 roaches, 7, 8, 10 roaches, that's enough to really put a threat right here, kill off the Marines, kill off the Hellions. But only 4 roaches moving out? No, that's not going to be anything. He'll be able to pull a couple SCVs for a pair. The Hellions as well will be able to do enough damage. That's not going to do anything. So there you can see the 3 extra roaches now being added on, 4 roaches, but so late, and DeathAngel, I just feel like, is in a terrible position at this point, as he's investing in all these units, not really investing too much in his economy, of course, as he did get the double gas for that, all the money that he wasted on the early Roach Warren and the extractors and all this that could be extra minerals. And he's really not going to be able to do too much damage here, so he can try and deny some possible Hellions, but it looks like the Hellions are going to be able to get out anyways and head over to his base, and all of his roaches are gone. So once again, ForGG may be able to simply sneak in and just do a ton of damage with these Hellions. Meantime, the roaches are now starting to finally gather up at the front right there, so it looks like he's going to try and push in to do some damage, but will he be able to see what's going on back home? There are 8 roaches right here, and the Hellions do get in back here. More roaches have been made for ForGG, but there is cloaked Banshees on the field right now as ForGG has continued the same build he did have before, so it looks like he will be able to at least force a pullback back here, but once this Banshee gets out, it's going to be extremely difficult, as now he's going to simply have to push up, try and snipe off the depots, try and snipe off whatever he can, but the Banshee's just going to be able to do so much damage right here. And the depots will go down, but it's not going to supply block ForGG right there, as he does have plenty of depots in his base. And now it looks like ForGG is just going to try and stall for as long as he can. The Hellions did go down back at the base here of DeathAngel, and here SCVs will be pulled, so it looks like DeathAngel able to do a decent amount of damage, but I'm still not sure that's really going to be enough right there. He does have a ton more roaches though sitting at home, so what, 7 more roaches were just sitting at home not doing anything right there. Oh, there's more roaches now popping in, so once again another round of 7 roaches, but he has to really be careful as there's now 2 Banshees out on the field, and a 3rd Banshee will probably be added on, I would imagine, fairly soon. SCVs do get a nice round right there with the Hellion damage. They'll be able to do a decent amount of damage. How many workers has he killed? He's only killed 10 workers for all of the resources that he's lost right there. Not sure it was quite cost efficient. Now the Banshees will start moving out across the map. You have to remember that they do have Cloak as well, and an Evo Chamber is just going down now. So late right there for DeathAngel, and I feel like this could be a very difficult push for him to deal with, as of course more Hellions and Mirages are starting to push out. DeathAngel going to try and sneak in some more roaches to really do some serious damage, and he actually could do some decent damage, but first he's going to have to be able to defend at home against all of these Cloak Banshees. No Spore Crawlers have gone up. They're just being started right now, so with the Hellions going to go ahead and move in, they'll be able to completely burn off all of these drones right here, and this just puts DeathAngel in a terrible position, who has not been microing his attack whatsoever. Finally gets those roaches over, but by the time he does that, another Banshee's in play. The SCVs will be able to once again get us around. Hellions have pushed up into the main, so he has roasted off so many drones. How many? 24 drones killed, 21 SCVs though killed for both players, so they're both losing pretty much all of their workers, but you have to remember that ForGG has all of these Banshees while there is no anti-air whatsoever for DeathAngel, so even though he kills off every single SCV, there's still mules on these orbitals, plus the Banshees, which are just going to simply tear away at this army. And poor DeathAngel just really doesn't have too much he can do. He can try and just go for a base race, I'd imagine, at this point. He does have the Spore Crawlers, I suppose, over here, so if he uses his roaches and gets them over to the spores, that will actually put him in a decent position, as ForGG has nothing left except these Banshees and Hellions, but he's going to have to be able to deny these Hellions right here. So able to almost pick off one right there, some very nice micro to pull that back, but he's going to completely be losing his hive right here. He's going to be losing his Roach Warren, probably his spawning pool as well. And such a crazy close game at this point. It looks like SCVs are being made, though. Mules have been dropped for ForGG, so that of course is going to boost his income to a very nice sum for only having, what, 2 SCVs out on the field right now, so he'll be able to at least start rebuilding fairly well. But you have to remember, look at how many drones that DeathAngel currently has, and a Spire's actually going up, so I do like that play right there from DeathAngel. It has been scouted by his opponent, but that's definitely okay. And here we do see the spores are going to be pulled. There's 4 Banshees on the field though, so it's going to be able to pick off the spore before it can get rooted, and this might be the end here for DeathAngel, as he really doesn't have these spores rooted. It's not going to be enough. The Banshees will be able to pull forward and start picking off the Banshee unharmed, untouched by these Spore Crawlers, so that's going to have to be cancelled, probably rebuilt right in between these 2 spores, and the hatch can be picked off as well. The Banshees are just going to be able to move however they want, and it looks like DeathAngel is just going to GG out of the game, so that's it. ForGG is going to take this series 2-0 right here, and such a crazy, exciting second game. Let's look at the units lost tab right there. Workers being absolutely slaughtered for both sides, but in the end, the anti-air that was DeathAngel was unable to get really just kind of proved costly, as ForGG was able to move in with 4 Cloak Banshees and just finish them off. So my name's MrLlama. I hope you guys enjoyed this cast, and I will see you guys next time.